You say high drama, it's drama out on track, but high drama down in pit lane. Kevin Lee, what is going on?
So Josef Newgarden's number 2 team Penske, the 2-time defending champion, is rolling back to the garage. There's been a lot of frantic work, and I think the 12 of Will Power is also coming back, pulling out of line. They were working on the attenuator, the rear of the car, right before they were set to begin qualifying. And at first notice, Chip Ganassi says they can't do that. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to make these kind of changes once you've gone through tech. There was a lot of conversation. No comment from Team Penske, no comment from IndyCar yet, but both of those cars are pulling out of line. We'll find out if they have a chance to qualify for the pole.
Well, guys, I have no idea what's going on with a grinding wheel to the carbon attenuator on the back of the race car there. You're really only supposed to be changing wing angle and tire pressure, and that's it.
This is, guys, I have to say, absolutely huge news. We saw last year's pole sitter, Scott McLaughlin, crash this morning. His car unlikely to take part in qualifying. Now, both of these cars pulled out of pit lane where they were due to run in qualifying to be taken back to the garages, not with, I must say, a huge amount of speed taking them back there. It all appears very, very casual for them. And this is the team which locked out the entire front row of the grid at last year's Indy 500.
No urgency apparently from the crew members here, and James, the top 12 is one run, one attempt for everybody through the line. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. A big surprise on pit lane and now on gasoline alley, and Will Power is still strapped into the race car, and they might just roll right into the garage and close the doors here.
This is what I'm trying to figure out. If you knew you were not going back out, if they've been told that by IndyCar, you'd assume you'd get the driver out of the car. Will Power still strapped in, so I imagine discussions still ongoing and decisions still to be made.
So still looking for more details of why Will Power and Josef Newgarden pull it out of line, but I have confirmed from IndyCar they failed pre-qualifying technical inspection. To get the reason, we'll need to get a comment from the team. We are efforting that from Team Penske.
We're back in Indianapolis. What a day for Penske. If you're just joining us, Scott McLaughlin crashed in practice this morning, does not take part in Fast 12. Penske, neither of their remaining cars will take part in qualifying now after the team failed tech. So no Josef Newgarden, no Will Power, no Scott McLaughlin. Not quite as bad as 30 years ago when Penske failed to qualify for the Indy 500 completely. But neither of those 3 cars will take part in the top 12 shootout.
Yeah, we were with Kevin Blanche, technical director for IndyCar. Can you elaborate on why the 2 Team Penske cars pulled out of line?
Well, there was a body fit violation on the rear attenuator. So as quick as this process happens, we ran them through tech. We got everybody in line, and then right near the end or prior to qualifying, they decided that they would just pull out of line.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now let's talk to Tim Cindric, the president of the IndyCar operation for Team Penske. What caused the cars to not be able to qualify? Was this a problem that was discovered once you got out to the pit lane?
Yeah, so essentially the 12 car had actually passed inspection, and as the 2 car went through inspection, it was pointed out that basically the official didn't like what you saw on television there. There was a blending there on the attenuator, and we decided, look, the 12 car, let's go look at that, and the 12 car was the same way, so there was really no reason to run the 12 car knowing that it was like the 2 car, and they didn't like the 2 car. So I in fact went back and looked at the 3 car from this morning, and it didn't have that. So there's a bit of a randomness internally there that we need to sort out, but it's a shame we didn't give our guys a chance to go for it.
So the cars got out to the pit lane. One of them had passed tech. They were both lined up in the pit lane when you discovered it. So you were...
Well, it's my understanding that the 12 car actually went through inspection, and the official didn't like the 2 car. And when we asked if we could modify that or change that before we ran, it was understood, at least initially, that we might be able to do that. But you know, when we look back at it, and if I was one of the competitors, I'd have the same argument that you're only allowed to change certain things once you pass inspection, wing angles, tire pressures, and so forth. So that was outside of what you're able to do, you know, once you go through inspection, and you've got to report to inspection on time. So at the end of the day, we didn't do it right.
You mentioned the blend line. Explain what that is.
Well, there's a seam. There's just a seam on the attenuator. So we had filled that seam on evidently some of our attenuators, and others we hadn't. And honestly, I think it's an arbitrary thing. When I look, like I said, I looked at 3 car that crashed today, and it wasn't like those. So once I knew that the 2 car and the 12 car were the same in qualifying line, there was no use to put our cars at risk.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow for practice, and they will be starting all 3 cars after locking out the front row last year. Team Penske will have the 4th row to themselves this year.